Hey, good morning. It's BJ, and check out that hawk. Beautiful. BJ Ondo and Jolynn Ondo from out and about on the Recumbents here in Colorado Springs, Colorado on a very chilly morning. Joe has a appointment at our recumbent dealer here in town, Angletech, www.cycledifference.com. She's getting a new set of what they called mirrored mirrored disc brakes up front. She has a her Ice Trice T is a 2009. So it's been around quite a while, and it has a very first generation set of hydraulic brakes, and they're just not very good anymore. They have no adjustability whatsoever, and they drag and everything else. So we're getting them replaced today. We're currently on the Sinton Trail. The Sinton Trail is a trail you take up heads west off of the Pikes Peak Greenway, and this will take you up to Centennial Boulevard, which takes us over to a little street called High Tech, and that's where Angletech is High Tech and Garden of the Gods Road, Garden of the Gods Road. And as you can see, Joe's up there waiting for me. She's got the e-assist, so she gets up these hills a lot faster than I do anymore. Afraid of my age, I'm 67 years old. My age is starting to catch up with me. Well, age and arthritis. My arthritis just seems to get a little meaner every year. So eventually, when we get her trike paid off, because we had to take out a loan with Inc. Credit Union, best people on this planet if you're ever in Colorado, best banking institution, that's for sure. And we took out a loan to get her trike, even though it's used, with an e-assist motor, it was still, $2,500, so we had to take out a loan. So when that gets paid off, take probably about 18 more months to pay that off. Then we see if we can borrow the money so I can get e-assist. If not, then when we put my Ice Sprint 2 Special Edition, of course it was a used trike too, we can't afford new ones, but we put it on Joe's credit card, so if for some reason they won't give us a loan at INT, or so far they've been very good to us and never turned us down when we wanted a loan, because we always pay it off before we ask for the next one. But yeah, so like I said, we're on our way up to Angletech, and it's a picturesque little trail. It's not bad, I mean, but the only bad thing about the trail is that from the Pikes Peak Greenway, it is uphill all the way. Some of it's just light uphill grades. We have to be real careful. There's a lot of tree root damage on this part. This is the old asphalt part of the trail. Not asphalt, but asphalt, sorry. And very popular trail. Lots of people walk their dogs here. and you know, bike too. Morning. But like I said, today probably won't be a ton of people out because it's gray. There's a little bit of blue, you know, way up towards the foothills, but right now it's socked in from one end to the other pretty much. Although it's starting to get a little blue in the background there, so that's kind of nice. It is warming up a little. It was flat cold when we started out this morning. It was like in the 30s, you know, 30s of the Fahrenheit range. And it took basically about 2.5 miles in my warmer gloves to finally get my fingers to warm up. Because the only problem with these warmer gloves is that, you know, you can't really do anything, you know, you got to get stuff, you know. We had to get the bikes out of the storage unit, or the trikes rather, and get out of the storage unit, and you just can't do it with these gloves on because they're kind of like Mickey Mouse hands, you know. So they're nice though when you need them. Like I said, this is Sinton Trail, and it was named for many decades. We had a dairy company here called Sinton Dairy Company. I mean, this was their, you know, this was their main thing. Their main processing plant and everything was here. And it's on the lower part of this trail. We passed it already. And but they have they put a pond in, and so it's always been a place where people have, you know, kind of walked. So they finally decided to pave it many years ago. And some of the newer parts they've actually concreted, but not all of it. It's got a lot that could use to be concreted, but I doubt we'll see this one ever concreted before Joe and I pass on. Because, like I said, we're 67, 68, and I don't see them getting to this one. Problem of it is, you know, there's limited money, limited resources, limited manpower, and lots of trails. We have a lot of trails, they're just not hooked up very well. That's our problem. Someday, if they ever got all these things connected, it would really be a great place to ride. It's a good place to ride now, but it'd be a great place to ride if they could connect all the trails up. So many of our trails, they go for so long and then they just quit. I mean, you don't have any idea where you are. They just quit. So you have to learn the back streets and the roads with bike lanes and bike boulevards and all that kind of stuff. And morning. Know how to get from one to the other. Now, like I said, we've passed doggers, and that's what I call people who walk their dog. I call them doggers. And we've passed runners and joggers, and now this is a newer part of the trail. They had to this area down here into Douglas Creek was eroded away completely. I mean, there was like a gap underneath the old trail, so they had to reset all that rock face in there, kind of rebuild it, the channel, and then they concreted this part, which is nice. Concrete's so much nicer. I know the mountain bike people probably hate us, but I have to admit, I really like this concrete, boy. It's a shame it's so darn expensive. I mean, it's like somebody told me it was like 2 miles of a concrete trail is like $1 million. $1 million! Just unreal. But I'm sure most of that has very little to do with the concrete and has mostly to do with the fees that the construction companies charge the city. I'm sure they're absolutely outrageous. But yeah, this dry creek bed over here is, oh, sometimes you'll find little water in places. It's really weird. Some places are as dry as a bone. Some places have a little water. This is Douglas Creek. I have no idea where it starts. Somewhere up in the foothills. And then it slowly meanders its way down to Fountain Creek, or Monument Creek, whatever you want to call it. Technically, in Colorado Springs, it's Monument Creek, Monument Valley Creek, but everybody calls it Fountain Creek, so shoot, there's probably native Coloradoans that don't realize that the part through Colorado Springs is actually Monument Valley Creek and not Fountain Creek, because nobody calls it Mountain Valley Creek. Monument Valley Creek, they call it Fountain Creek. Starting to see a lot of buds on the trees, but typical bipolar Colorado spring, you just never know what you're going to get. It's supposed to be sometime about 1 a.m. Saturday morning, it's supposed to snow. I don't think we're going to get a lot, maybe a couple inches, but it'll be cold and snow and wind, so thank you. Yeah, you can tell it's Colorado because there's lots of fat tire e-bikes here, boy. Actually, lots of fat tire bikes, period, e-bikes, period. But there's usually a lot of these fat tire bikes running around here. Joe and I don't like the cold enough to need a fat tire bike. Where fat tire bikes really shine is in the winter time, you know, in the snow or in the sand, you know, if you're in the desert. Little tunnel here. It's not so bad now because they put in these better lights, and I mean they're a lot better. This thing used to be dark. You couldn't even, it was like going into a black hole, literally. Of course you can see all the trash, it never stays clean. Someday I'm going to bring my trailer up here in a push broom. Of course I'd have to buy the push broom. I'd really like to sweep this out.
Resuming ride.
All right, yeah. Now we're gonna get off the trail and head up to Centennial Boulevard. And this, like I said, this will take us up to Angletech. Yeah, it's so funny because before Joe got her e-assist trike, you know, I was the one always waiting for her at the top of the hills. Now it's the other way around. She waits for me. So that e-assist really does help her on the hills, I'll tell you. I couldn't even touch her going up a hill now on my best day. Okay, so we're on Centennial Boulevard. Kind of a fairly main north-south thoroughfare through the city of Colorado Springs. Lots of traffic. There's Pikes Peak over there. Got a little bit of snow on it. That'll have more by tomorrow morning. These are all the foothills here. this whole area over here is where they had the big fire in like 2012 or 2013. So it's still trying to, you know, even 10 years later, it's still trying to revegetate itself and come back. But yeah, you can see, and that blank area over there is the famous scar. Back in the 1930s, Colorado Springs was a much smaller city than it is now. So somebody decided that since those foothills were so far out of town, they'd you know, they turned into a gravel, you know, kind of a gravel pit. Well, it's not technically a pit, but so, you know, they just basically chopped off the, you know, kept chopping into it. Now they're trying to reforest it and make it go away, but it's so huge. I don't think they'll ever be able to get that completely forested. I think it's going to show up for, oh, another 200 or 300 years probably. They're trying. I mean, you know, they've replanted all kinds of stuff, but as you can see, it's still bare looking. So, whew. I got a little shopping center over here. Go ahead and head on up, dear. I'll see you when I get there. Yeah, like I said, here it at least flattens out a little bit, so that helps. But then we got to go up another little incline over to Angletech. Excuse me. Now these buildings right in front of us used to be an Intel plant. They made they made semiconductors here, but now it's been, you know, they closed that plant down for years. And now it's become several different things. I don't know what's all in it now. It's huge. I mean, it covers like 10, 12, 14, 15 city blocks, you know. But they have they have a health service in there. They have a Colorado Technical University's in there. They have, what else do they have over there? Oh, on the other side, they have the El Paso County Citizen Center. So it's like, you know, a county building basically. There's a better view of Pikes Peak. And the other peaks that go along with it that I don't know the name of. Nice jet trail there, or contrail, or how do they say that? Okay. And that small garage looking like building, that's Angletech. That's where we're headed. That's our dealer. One of the best dealers in the entire United States, actually. And boy, I'll tell you, their crew, from the owner Kelvin to the head technician Kirk, general manager Josiah, and I don't know if she's still here. I hope so. Our favorite sales lady and backup mechanic is Alexa. and Alexis, I'm sorry about that, Alexis, but yeah, it looks like we're a little early because they don't have the big doors open yet, so we got up here in plenty of time. But the owner's little BMW electric car is here.
Pausing ride.
I don't know if I can get in now.
Resuming ride. Pausing ride.
Okay. All right, well, I'm going to turn the camera off for now because I only have one battery. And we'll talk to you when we get done. All right, thanks for going on the ride with us. Again, this is BJ and Joe Ondo. There's Joe right there. On out and about on the recumbents. So, all right. We will talk to you later. Bye. Okay, so we're back. Joe's got her new brakes now. Yeah, I guess so, huh? They did. So, we were going to kind of try to go for another ride, but I think we're just going to go home because it's cold. We both kind of got a chill, and so, but yeah, so mission accomplished. She got her brand new disc brakes. And we got her a new Marathon plus rear tire on her trike now, so she's got really good flat protection. And I'm going to be using her old rear tire for my recumbent bicycle. I have a Sun EZ1 SC Lite, which means it's the aluminum frame version. That a good friend of mine gave to me. He just decided he had both a day 6 semi-recumbent bicycle and this EZ1 recumbent bicycle. He decided he liked his semi-recumbent bicycle better. He also has a really nice green speed trike. But so he asked me if I want it, so I asked him how much, and he said free. So I said, of course, I'll take it. I'm going to try to use it as my cargo trailer trike, or puller. Yeah, the breeze is just very, very cold right now. It's just really cold. Man. And we're very layered up. We've got 3 or 4 layers on, but it's just not enough. So we're just going to call it a day. Won't mean a lot of miles today, but that's just kind of the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes you get in the long ride and sometimes you don't. And this was really important because Joe needed the new brakes. Going back into the tunnel here. Ole, 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 ole. There's a fellow YouTuber, a very famous one, unlike me, that his name is Ryan Doozer, and he does Doozer TV, or his official YouTube site is called Out There, and every time he gets into a tunnel, he does that little ditty, ole, ole, ole. So my wife and Joe and I have kind of picked that up. So every time we go into a tunnel, we have to do this ole thing. So that's what that's for. Excuse me. When I get a chill, a heavy chill, I yawn a lot, so I'll try not to yawn at you too much. But yeah, we're back on the sitting trail now, taking an easy cruise home. One nice thing about it is now it's all downhill, except for when it's cold like it is right now. You don't really want to go very fast. It's really nice on a nice hot summer day, when you can. All that nice cooling breeze as you're going by. Right now, it's cold. All right. So we're going to go home, and I'm going to have some hot tea, and Joe's going to have some hot chocolate. So, thank you. We went over to one of our favorite restaurants here in town, the Black Bear Diner. It had a really good BLT, bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich with their totally excellent sweet potato fries. We don't eat regular fries because potatoes turn into starch. Starch turns into sugar. So that's not good for Joe, being a type 2 diabetic. But the sweet potato fries, we can eat. And it doesn't bring up your sugar levels a bunch. And the bacon, lettuce, and tomatoes is a pretty healthy sandwich since it's mostly lettuce and tomatoes. But this one has some really good crispy bacon. Passing on your left. Thank you. Afternoon. Yeah, normally once we get done with Angletech, we go out for a ride, but it's cold today. And it was supposed to warm up to 50. It's supposed to be cloudy, warm up to 50, but I don't think it warmed up at all. In fact, I think it got colder on top of the fact that the breeze, it's not really a heavy wind. It's just a stiff breeze, but it's a cold breeze too. So you got cold on top of cold. It's cold. Not just cold, but quite cold. We got some heavy tree root bumps coming up, so we have to slow down a little bit. Howdy. Yeah, as we said on the way up, a lot of dog walkers on this trail here. Yeah, these bumps, boy. You hit these things at speed without a full suspension, man, let me tell you, the whole front end just jumps clear up. Joe hit this thing one time going a little too fast, and she was literally came off all three wheels. It's pretty cool. She didn't mean to do it, but it was cool. Yeah, like I said, it's so weird, you know, because usually you just love this trail going back this way because it's all downhill, but when it's cold, it's not as much fun. Some more tree roots here. Bump, 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 bump. Too bad, don't care. I'll answer it when I get home. I can't see it anyway, so. It's just Ed, I'll answer it when I get home, or when I get to the shed. Excuse me. Recumbent Trice coming up, stay tight. So do they feel better?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah, really. Sure, you're right out of your own seat. And let's let this bike go by. Oh, okay. Too late for you. Go ahead. Yeah, and he put it all under labor so we didn't have to pay any taxes. Yeah. As I said, man, I absolutely love dealing with Kirk. But I guess I'm going to start dealing with Josiah again. No, I like Josiah. I got nothing against Josiah. Well, he's quite technical. Yeah, he is quite technical. He's a lot more like Kelvin. Where Kirk and Alexis is, you know, a little more personable. Yeah, he said what may happen. He says that he said my shifter might be worn out, but you know what? I forgot to get it. He didn't actually give me a date on when I could bring it in, so I have to call him back and.
Well, you have to call him back to find out the tire.
Oh yeah, I gotta get back up there for the tire too. Yeah, I'll let him know that too, in case he needs to order me a 349. Oh, excuse me. If I can't find it on the tire, I'm going to look up a Primo Comet tire, because I doubt seriously that they do more than one size. They realize what kind of money they're talking about. But it sounds like they have pretty good money anyway. I mean, she's got a Moots. A Moots is a custom-made mountain bike. You know, it's literally sized for you. They literally build it for you. You go in and they measure your, you know, your inseam and your arm length and everything, you know. And they build the bike for you. It's a Colorado company. Now maybe she didn't get it new. She might have got it used, you know. But he's got a Gold Rush, which is a very top of the line. Well, it used to be. They don't make them anymore. Long wheelbase recumbent, and then some sort of a titanium bike of some sort. So it sounds like they've got money. I wonder if he gets a kickback from the Zub, because you know, all of a sudden Kelvin's riding a Zub. You know, his personal trike is in a Zub, and he seems to take people to a Zub almost right away.
Well,
He didn't even mention the ice. Like I said, you know, there's nothing wrong with the Zub. It's a top of the line trike line, you know. But I don't know, for some reason, ice seems to look at things more eloquently than the other two, you know. Because I do admit, you know, some people don't care for ice as suspension because, I mean, there's not much to an ice suspension system, you know. It's a polyester elastomer, you know. There's no coils, there's no, you know, there's no real adjustability to it. Well, there's a little bit because you can put it in different spots. But I mean, you know what I mean? It's not a, yeah, you know what I mean. It's kind of an eloquent but yet extremely simple system, where everybody else's, you know, is coil this and whatever, and you know, titanium bladed, you know, suspension pieces and. Well, no, because yeah, you really need to find out what trike they want first, and then you can find out what options there are. But the Zeb's kind of like ice. I mean, they don't really have now. The only thing about a Zeb though is they have you can get 3 different inline assist systems with a Zeb. You know, you can get Bosch, you can get Shimano, and you can get Bros. Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. They're fun. Okay, okay. I mean, that's all I was trying to do is explain, you know, just different approaches, you know, to the same thing. Oh, I still laugh at myself because I will tell you, I was not going to buy an ice, okay? I didn't like the ice knobs, you know, so I was not going to buy an ice. Man, I like my ice. It would be really hard to go back to a TerraTrike after owning this ice. It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, you'd... Oh, I know, man. These things are rock solid too. I mean, just, you know, you go down a hill, you can actually take your if you want. Well, I won't down a hill, but you can take your hands off. The thing's just rock solid. And these things are old. I like it. Everything about it feels refined, you know?
When he's talking to her about the Zeb, he's talking about the suspension and the current, and he's talking about the motor.
Yeah.
Really not too much the Zeb, but it was easier for him to point things out with the Zeb than it was with some of the others.
Yeah.
But he did green speed, he did that one. You know, he didn't do a TerraTrike other than green speed, but I think that's because.
Yeah, I think he figured these people could afford something better, so.
And her husband was insisting that she get a
Go around.
electric bike.
Well, you know, it makes sense. Get it now, you know.
He wanted one without electric. So
Yeah.
that's when he started thinking, well, first we'll get you set up on
Right, the trike.
the trike. You try out the 5, and more than one ride on each one.
Yeah.
Then we'll go to, so we make sure we can fit right, and we can kind of like,
Right.
now I'll make sense.
Oh yeah, it does.